Hello and welcome to this Teleos video. My name is Stuart and I am a software support engineer here at Teleos, and today I'm going to be showing you through our new features and upgrades to the Teleos system that will be implemented either already or very soon for yourselves. So without further ado, let's take a look at the changes. This is, as I say, going to be a brief video. In the future we're looking to do a more comprehensive guide. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to go to Find Record, and this is the new Find Record module, much more comprehensive than the previous version. I'm going to bring up my client card here, and here you can see we have the new client screen. So the layout's changed, but the fundamentals and the depth are still there. At the top here, most notably, we've got a summary banner where we can see information about the client, so the name, the ID, address, contact details, and the current balance. And the nice thing about this is it will stay present regardless of what tab you're on for the client. So you can see here, this tab doesn't move as long as we're on this client. One thing we can do is we can minimize out of this client specifically, and we could go on to another one, like so. And we can have multiple clients active at the same time if we wanted to switch between. Close that off. Okay, so here you'll see we've got a contact details part of the client card here, and this is of course a home number, a mobile number. You'll see we've got a mobile alternative and a primary email. So these are fields that you can set up to be exactly what you'd like. So maybe you want an emergency number. What we can do is we can add a new contact and just add that in. Bespoke emergency carer, and that could be in there. That's just an example off the top of my head, but you can make that work for however you need, and you can add as many or as few contact details as you like. And again, you can customize these to say whatever you need to say. So we'll cancel that off. From here, it's nice to know you can also, let's say you wanted to email directly, you can click on the little postage icon there and go and send an email, draft up an email to the client, or the same applies for an SMS as well. Next here we've got the attach communication and forms buttons. So what these do is we can attach an image or a document to the client or to the animal. So if we go here and we go to attach an image to Neo, and I'll just choose a picture of Neo himself, which is my dog, because I thought that would be a good example. Open them up. You can see here I can untick and tick the ones that I want to import. So we'll import all those, and in a minute I'll show you where you can see a summary of those imported images. Nice thing to notice with this is you can attach it to a specific animal or to the client themselves. Of course, here we've got the communication, which again is just SMS and email. And we've got the forms module. So what you can do, you can click here and you can produce a form for the animal quickly. You can do the quick operation or euthanasia, edit before the printing, or you can click the browse button and select a different form if you wish. Next, we've got the additional tab, which is additional contact details, financial tab, where we've got everything financial about the client that we need, age analysis, etc. In the miscellaneous tab, we have a cool addition. We've got the appointments history screen. Now what you'll notice here is that I've got a couple of appointments, and I have one here that's in the status of being seen and two due to come in. I missed that appointment, so I am a terrible client, but I wanted to highlight that this is a testing record, right? So this isn't real world data. If you had a client and it was a practical client, a real world client, you'd be able to summarize and see the different times that they've come in and just get a quick overview of their appointment history. And you can of course select the date range where that's valid up until. From there, we have got the category or the client department. So what we can do with this is we can set the client department, which will have the adverse effect of changing this bar at the top of the screen. So it will change the banner color. So I've kind of programmed my version of the program for retail clients to default to this color. For you may want that as a different color. But I've then programmed the program to say, if they're a PHP client, you go to this bluey purple color. So when the receptionists look at the client record, they'll know immediately it's a PHP client. And same goes for bad debtor. I've set that up to be red. Again, you can customize these to whatever you need them to be. And in here we can also set what the usual vet is in case the client has a preference. So if I set us back to a retail client, because I like the Teleos green, we'll refresh that. We'll see, there we go. And then of course we've got the client notes, not much has changed here. Moving on, we have the animal details tab. Again, we can see a quick summary up here. Recalls, insurance, etc. We've got the basic animal details, name, species, etc. Identity number. A brief overview of the recalls, insurance again. And then in here we've got a custom fields. So like the contact details, we can add custom fields to the client record, or the animal record, sorry, where I've set up a PHP passport number, a PHP membership number, microchip company, and these can all be set in the settings part of your program, so you can have as many or as few of these. Lastly, on this page, you'll see that Neo has a lovely profile photo here, and you can change this by just clicking the change profile picture. So maybe you want to get into the practice of taking a photo of the animals and having their own little card, and you can do so by just storing the images on your computer and then go to change profile picture. And if I go here, you'll see there's another image of Neo. Much is the same here, just the layouts changed. So again, the fundamentals are still there. We've got the warnings tab, reminders tab, which is a bit more comprehensive and easier to understand. Breed information, quite generic. Location, more specifically for farm animals. Insurance, where we set up anything and everything to do with the insurance. And then we've got the pictures, which I mentioned before. So very quickly, in the pictures tab, we have all of the pictures that have been attached to this animal in a quick summary view, so you can flick through and see all of those there. So next we're going to move on to the clinical history, where more improvements have been made. So you'll notice there are a few changes. In my opinion, this is much more easily digestible for vets, receptionists, and anyone who's going to be looking at it. So if we take a look here, we've just got some test information in regards to Neo. And you can see that on the left hand side, we've got the buttons in relation to the animal, so where the microchip number, prescriptions, pet health plan stuff, it was all stored above. It's now stored on the left hand side, which makes all the information a bit more easily readable. Another thing to note is that the yellow buttons are now not in fact yellow, they are green. So we've got different shades of green. So the consultation, lab recording, and whatever buttons you have on the right hand side will all be green now. So here you go. Next here, we've got the consultation button. This may have changed from the last time you've seen it. Again, it's using the Teleos green, and everything is somewhat the same. Now we'll come back to this in a moment. What I wanted to show to you is the filter option that we have, which I know everyone will be very appreciative of and enjoy, hopefully. What this will allow us to do is, if we click the magnifying glass up here, which brings up find and filter, we click on that, we can search through all of the clinical history or anything that's been noted down on the animal's card, and we can search by that. So if I go for dog vac, for example, maybe we want a brief quick overview of all the vaccinations that the dog has had, we can do that. So you can see here, I've gone to find that search term, and it's brought up dog vac, and it's highlighted it there. So that brings it out nicely. Or if you wanted to go a step further, you could go show matches only, and there you can see it's only showing up the things that we've searched. So in the same way, if I go for Prinovox, we can see that it's coming up as the item that was sold, and I also mentioned Prinovox in one of the notes here for the client. Furthermore, you got the filter here, so you got a date range. So maybe you only want to look for vaccinations in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You can do so by, again, coming down here and selecting that date range. And there is further transaction filters and stuff, and you can of course have a little play around with that. And if you want to remove the filter, because obviously it could get confusing if you've got a filter on and you don't realize, you just go to the reset button down here, and you'll always know if there's a filter on by looking at this button. And if it's orange like so, that means that there's a filter active. So you'll see here, I've just put dog, and we know there's a filter active because it's highlighting the text in yellow, and also the magnifying glass has turned orange. Again, we get rid of that by going reset. To kind of finish off with the filter, we have got at the bottom here notes color tag, and you'll notice that we can filter the record by a color. Now you'll notice here I've added some notes, some clinical notes, where they are green and then they are orange. Now this is bespoke, so you can set this up however you like. So if I go ahead and let's filter it by green, you'll see that these are all examination notes that I've added. I'm going to reset this, and then we're going to go to the consultation burn. And now this is where the colours are kind of predetermined, and this is where you can change them as and when you need. So in here you'll see the owner's appraisal. I've just got the standard text, and I'm going to put that under here like this, and that just looks normal as you would expect. Examination text, for example, you'll see that that's defaulted to be green and bold, which are specified in the font properties up here. So now I've added and exited the work, I've moved myself over on the video, and I just want to show you that different text here. And if we wanted to edit it, we right click it, go to edit transaction, and in there we can change the properties again. From here we can also backdate the work, so maybe this was actually carried out on the 27th of December, the owner's appraisal, and there you can see it's moved up there. Again, same principle. If we wanted to delete multiple transactions, we highlight them using Control and Shift, and then we go to delete transactions, and you're going to get a warning just to say, are you sure you want to do so? The last thing I want to show you is the financial history screen. More of the same. The filter still applies. You can search for specific transactions, etc. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to touch on is the take payment module. So if we go to take payment up on the top right, we can see some information about the payment and the work done and what we want to pay off. If we go to the advanced options, this is where we can allocate payments to specific work if we so please. So maybe we want to pay off a specific part of the history. This is how we do so, by ticking the boxes here. In this example, I'm just going to pay off all the outstanding work that we've accumulated throughout the month, and I'm going to just pop that through now. 199.39, and I'm going to email myself the receipt there. There you can see payments received by cash. These highlighted lines mean that this payment is allocated here, and if we just refresh that, we'll see we've got a receipt created in a PDF format, which we can double click on, open up. We can email it off again as an attachment, or we can print it from here. And that's it really. That's all I wanted to touch on in today's video. If you do have any questions or problems, be sure to head to our website, teleosvet.co.uk, where you can find out information on contacting us or more about the product at hand. So thank you ever so much for watching. Again, I've been Stuart, and I hope you have a wonderful day.